Hey creative friends, welcome to Tracy Bautista Color. I wanted to give you a little peek inside the spring Pigment Bars mystery box and the beautiful set of colors that I designed. I have a few different swatches here on a variety of papers, and these particular swatches on this little spiral bound book, sketchbook, are the colors when they are heated. So you get a really deep, rich application of color when the pigment bars are melted and when you paint with them. I like to melt them on a pancake griddle or with a quilting iron, a small iron, and you can see that the colors are a lot richer and give you a little bit of a smoother application. That also depends on the paper substrate that you're using. I also tested them out on some of my new Japanese paper from the origami factory, and it's these cards that are made out of Kozo paper, and I really love the texture of this paper, and these look really great on top of there. And then just on a piece of, I think this is either mixed media paper or watercolor paper. I think it's watercolor paper actually. And then just on an index card that had like a little graph paper line, so it's a really thin piece of paper. So the more texture you have on your paper, the more texture you're going to see in the application of the pigment bars. And then these are using the pigment bars just regular, dry, not heated. And then this is on Strathmore blue toned paper, and you can see a variety of the colors really nicely contrast off of this paper, because some of the pigment bars have titanium white in them. And then you can see some of them are a little bit more transparent. So they definitely look different on every type of paper you use. Here are the swatches inside a sketchbook that has watercolor paper. And you can see how the sketches or the paper is textured. So you're seeing some of that texture come through. And most of these bars have two, some of them have three colors. And so you see each of these swatches show one side or multiple sides of each of the bars. I just wanted to give you a quick view into those different swatches. And then I'm going to do a quick little swatch on this craft paper that I have here, because I want to see how these look when using a paper like this. So this is just a little notebook that I found at Daiso, and it's just this thin craft paper, but I love craft paper, so we're going to see how this works. And again, these are not heated. I am just going to take a few and randomly swatch them out on here. So some of them you'll probably be able to see really well because of the contrast that it has on the background. And some of them may be a little bit more transparent. So you're going to see a little bit of the brown come through the color. But there were, I think, maybe about 12 or 15 colors that I created for this collection. So sometimes you'll notice that one side is a little bit, like a lot more transparent, and that's because it is made to be a bit of a blender. So you can take one side or even another color, and then this other side has just a hint of the pigment in it, but then you can also use it to just blend out that color. And then now this bar has 3 different shades of color, and you can really see that there are some other little confetti pieces in there of wax. So when you get down to these areas, some of those colors will come out when you when you apply the pigment bar to the paper, when you make marks. Again, another side that has a little bit more of a blender, but if you look in the middle, there's this light lavender color. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a little of that to come out in this next swatch here. So you see a little tiny bit of that, and then I can use this side and it gets even darker. So again, varying shades and tints of the colors can be created just by using different sides and different parts of the bar. If you cut them apart, if you melt them together, if you use them heated, that'll create a whole different color. And then again, this has a little bit of the confetti in the center. And so when you get down to this part of the bar, you'll get a little bit of that brown, that beautiful brown mixed in there. So each one of these is hand poured. These are made in small batches, and every bar is different. There's no two bars that are alike. And that's the fun of, you know, creating these. So this one has a little bit more kind of apricot peach color on one side. If you look down here at the bottom, when you get here, this one actually has brown, one of the ochres poured into it. So when you get to this area, it's going to change color a little bit more. And I've got a few more to swatch here. Let's see. This one, really pretty. There's a little bit of that apricot peach color in the center there. If you look on the sides, you can really see the definition of where the colors, where they're split, where there'll be changes. So it's this one has a very light difference in color, not too much, but when you get to certain other portions of the bar, it may change even more. But then I could take another one of these bars. So if I color on here, and then I grabbed the last bar that I swatched out, and I'm just going to use a corner of this one, and now I can blend that together. So again, I've got this really beautiful range of color, and you can see there's that color, that brown that's inside there too. So that'll be fun when you get down to some of those other parts of each of the bars. It's almost like you have a whole new brand new tool. So this one has 3 different layers. There's a blender on this side, so it's a really light green, and then when you get into the middle, there's that beautiful blue. So if I color with the whole side, now you see all 3 colors. And then if I color just with those 2 that corner and a little bit of the blue, then I've got another beautiful mix. This is a really pretty blue green. So you see it's a little bit more blue and then a little bit more green. So all of these colors from one bar. And then again, there's like little tiny confetti pieces in the center there that will create more colors. And again, this is on brown paper, so it definitely will look a little bit different. I should actually let's do a little bit on this white too, just so you see the difference. And there's a light pink on this one and this beautiful kind of a spring green color. So if I do this, let's do this here. I'll show you the difference on the white background. And a little of the pink on this side. I think those are 2 of my favorite spring colors. So definitely a difference in the color, especially because it's on a darker background. You're going to see a lot more of the titanium white pop out. So it's a beautiful background, or a beautiful color for the darker paper, but also works really great on the lighter paper. And again, I encourage you to also try these heated, because that also creates this whole other effect with the pigment bars. And then even mixing them with oils is such a fun technique. And let's do this one over here. have to go back and do all these other ones. And then we'll do a little of this one here. So you see the difference on the white paper. Let's see, what else do we have here? This actually might be similar in color to the other one. Yeah. I try, when I create them, I try to just grab a few samples for myself. Oh, there's a little lavender in the middle there, so I'm going to try to get that to come out. There we go. And I love that. So there's a little lavender and peach. And I'll bring this closer to the camera in a minute. Actually, let's do a little zoom in, see if you can see it. We'll do that there. And then we've got a couple more kind of peachy colors and a little bit more transparent. And then we've got this kind of peachy color there. And then if I want to mix both of those together, we'll just do a little bit here and then take the other side and color right over it. Then I get this beautiful mix. Oh, it's off the camera. Hold on. If you are a subscriber or you purchase any of my pigment bars, I highly encourage you and recommend to create this color study swatching chart and swatch out all of the bars as is on each side and then play with blending them together, because you'll see like this one has like 3 layers. There's a little tiny hint of this green blender at the top, a little bit of that teal, and then this beautiful dark brown. And so that's 2 of them. And then if I get a little bit more of that blue in here and the brown, if I mix all 3, then I get this really pretty layer. I could also just try and get a little bit of the blue by itself with a little of the blender bar. And then I've got those kind of 4 colors from that. And then again, there's more when you get to this little section of the little confetti pieces. And that's the fun of these two. Like all of them have this really beautiful, not all of them, but most of them have some type of a little bit of confetti. So let's do this one here. So some of these might be similar to some of these up there, but yeah, like this one and that is very similar, but there's this little bit of blue in there. So let's see what happens if we can get some of that blue to come out. So you see a little bit of that blue there, and there's 2 different browns in this one. You see like those 3, there's like 3 layers, 1, 2, 3. So there's a lighter brown. It's like a greenish brown. And then let's try and get all of them together on the edge. Similar to that. So let's see what it looks like on the white paper. And this is I think it's a Strathmore. Let me look. Mixed media? Can't remember. Yeah. It's the Strathmore Skills Level. So it's the student grade mixed media paper. And this one has a little bit of the pink, so we'll do a little bit on that side. Love it. Okay, I think this is the last bar. So again, look at that. There's blue on this side. There is there's like 3 different browns on that side. And then the top, it definitely has a little bit of a blender bar. So you can tell it's a little bit more transparent. And then I should do a separate video where I'm swatching out these hot. Maybe I'll do that in another video. Where they're melted, I should say, not hot. So that is the spring. This was a limited edition spring box that I do I've done it the last couple years, and this completely sold out. This was a one-time box. So now you get to see the difference and on white versus a craft paper versus this is like a cream kind of paper. And then one of my inexpensive Daiso sketchbooks where these are heated. So definitely you can see the difference. I mean, these are larger swatches, but you get more of an opaque color when they're heated. So I will do another video where they're swatched out, where they're heated, so you can see what those look like. If you are interested in becoming a Tracy Bautista Color Pigment Bars subscriber, that is usually the only way that you can get my limited edition boxes. So I encourage you to sign up in the link in the description, and that will get you put on the VIP list to find out when we open again. From time to time, the subscription opens, so we would love to have you. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed a peek inside the Spring Florals Mystery Pigment Bars box. Take some time to play, explore, and paint and make marks in your sketchbook.